ABC Sports and the United States Golf Association proudly present the 42nd Curtis Cup. Marion Golf Club here in the Philly area hosts to so many top-level events. The 19th USGA Championship held here. This is an event that dates back to 1932, 42nd edition, women's amateur team competition, the old wicker baskets here. You know right away you are at Marion. 4-ball in the morning and foursomes in the afternoon. 8 players in all. The U.S. taking on Great Britain and Ireland. Beautiful day here in the Philly area. This is how we stand after one session. The U.S. 2 points on the board. Great Britain and Ireland 1. The U.S. through the years has been pretty dominant. They've won the last 2, won 10 of the last 12. 38 and 3, their overall record. Terry Gannon along with Paige McKenzie in the booth. Dave Perkowski as well. Kay Cockrell, Karen Stupples, Julia Johnson on the golf course with the matches. 3 of them this afternoon. The foursomes. And Ryan Favre from the USGA in case we have any questions with the rule. Take you out to the play at 4 and say hello to Steve.
Hello there, Terry. Watching match number 1, Louise Duncan and Hannah Darling. The 5th shot for GB&I. Julia Johnson with this one.
Yeah, they laid up over here in this area. Just had to take a drop and hit something on this green.
They lay up in the hazard?
Well, they hit their layup. Yeah, they laid up in the rough and then hit their approach shot in.
A little bit of trouble for GB&I.
Yeah, making a bit of a mess there. Already one down in this one. Take a look at Rose Zhang and Rachel Heck at the 3rd. Couple of Stanford Cardinal going up against a couple of Florida State Seminoles.
And the Florida State Seminoles GB&I combination have a birdie putt here coming up from about 7 feet or so. So nice touch by Rose though, but
Latana Stone, couple of putts to win the hole. Put the Americans 2 up in this one.
Good shot in by Jensen here. 15 feet above the hole. Just trying to lag something down there. She knows she has 2 putts.
Jensen, Castle, Latana Stone, the 2 that sat out this morning.
And that was a familiar theme of what we saw this morning, is how quick these greens can get away from you.
Now back at the 3rd. Charlotte Heath, Amelia Williamson looking to extend their lead perhaps.
I underestimated the distance here. It's a little bit longer than I thought, but uphill. And that was left quickly.
Little one not conceded. Might be shortly. We'll find out. Take a look at Amari Avery in the fairway at 4, getting ready to go, watching the first match out on the green with Darling and Duncan. And a Darling, see if she can somehow manage to get this one in.
Pretty difficult putt here. Moving right to left the whole way. Would put a lot of pressure back on the USA if she can get this to go in.
Players from Scotland were partnered up together in this format last fall in Wales, so at least a comfortable setting alongside one another. Rest conceded there to GB&I. Now Heck for her par at 3.
Yeah, to help her good friend out, but not to be. They'll go 2 down.
Heck and Zhang also partnered up in foursomes in Wales last fall. And behind the 8-ball quickly.
It can happen in foursomes when you're playing an alternate shot. It's very easy to get moving the wrong direction. Momentum easy to come by in this format.
Green open up here shortly at the 4th for Rachel Keane and Amari Avery. They're 1 up through the first 3 against Kaylee McGinty and Emily Price from Great Britain and Ireland. Kay Cockrell down with match 2.
Amari Avery drove it in the right fairway bunker, and then Keane hit a little bit of a heavy fairway bunker shot out, leaving Amari now quite a long 3rd, 175 yards downhill. Really wants to keep this underneath the hole. And this approach plays a good 10, 11 yards downhill, but it's back into the wind, hurting out of the left.
And Great Britain and Ireland look like they're in good position down in the fairway, so important to hit a good one here.
Struck that really solidly.
Oh, what a shot.
Gorgeous.
Completely out of position on par 5. This is how quickly shift.
Remind me when you want 80 out. Yo, just give me a 7 iron.
Par 4 fifth, Latata Stone on the tee.
Trying to keep something left side of this fairway. Start it left of this tree on the right. She's done a really good job.
20-year-old from Riverview, Florida. Plays at LSU, right down the middle of the fairway. So she did not play this morning. Jensen Castle didn't play. They're together. He's Duncan now for Great Britain and Ireland.
Needs to put this in the fairway after coming off of a loss on the last.
Hanging in there.
Ooh.
That's why. And it is deep rough. If you didn't watch this morning,
And there is penalty area.
there too. Drop back 1-4.
Kaylee McGinty, third shot upcoming for GB&I.
Yeah, and GB and I have played this hole so far. Textbook, good drive, good layup. But like I said earlier today, this golf course kind of keeps you on your toes, literally and figuratively, because there's hardly any flat lies. You're dealing with downhill, uphill, side hill lies, so you really have to adapt accordingly. This is an 84-yard shot off a little downhill lie, and it plays a little bit downhill, so she'll play this more like a 75-yard shot.
Now, the tendency here would be potentially to catch it heavy, so a lot of players play it back in their stance. It'll come out a little bit lower.
Tried to get a little better. Stopped right there. Have a run at it at least. So this is how we stand in the afternoon foursomes. U.S. up in 2 of the 3 matches. Great Britain and Ireland up in the other one. And that's the way we stood at the end of the opening session. So
Back out at the 4th. Emily Price this morning joined us in the booth, and she was anxious to get out there this afternoon. And in the mix of it early on this Friday afternoon at Marion, as our uninterrupted coverage of the 42nd Curtis Cup is presented by Rolex. So glad you could join us. Nice early June day, temperatures low to mid 70s, and couldn't ask for a better one to be out there walking around, Kay.
You said it. It is picturesque here, both weather-wise and this golf course. So pristine. Such a beautiful course and a beautiful walk. I would think all these players are just inspired and have been ever since they put their foot onto this property. However, that said, this is a devilish putt. So fast from above the hole. It's a 25-footer, but she's got to putt this as if it were no more than 5 or 6 feet. Excellent speed. It almost accelerated, though, as it peeked into the hole.
Yeah, that first half or first 2/3 of that putt, pace looked good. And as Kay touched on, sort of picked up once it went past the hole. Quick moment to let you know, as a founding partner, the USGA has helped First Tee create experiences that build character in millions of kids through the game of golf. That legacy continues today as they celebrate their 25th anniversary. Go to firsttee.org to get involved. Keen for birdie to win the hole.
A short putt, but it has big right to left. Oh, boy, she powered it through that right to left.
And a couple feet by, but that is conceded by GB&I. It's always the interesting dynamic. Do you give putts? When do you give putts? And we didn't see a whole lot of that this morning.
No, and frankly, I think there's been a real struggle with speed control on these greens. And a lot of it is just the amount of little bit of rollout extra that they're not expecting.
would you have given that?
Absolutely not.
No.
It appeared to be left to right coming back up the hill, which left to right putts usually get a little squiggly.
Well, you give them to them early and make them putt them later. That could be her philosophy.
Or did you give it hoping to say, here, good, let's go to 5? I mean, that was about a foot outside of it, but able to tie the hole with par.
So here at 5, we were wondering whether Louise Duncan drove it into the penalty area, and she did, Julia?
Yes, she did, and we're trying to find out where exactly she should be dropping this ball. Jensen and Latana were just over here. Jensen said that she thought she bounced before she went in, where she could drop it pretty close to the line where it went into the hazard. They're just trying to identify where exactly she should be dropping.
Okay, so this is the forward referee who is here.
Okay.
Thought she saw it. Yeah, we're just trying to decide where it crossed. Is that okay?
No, appreciate it.
Yeah, no, it's worth waiting 2 minutes to get it back.
Will you just let the timing referee know that we've got a lose?
I will, of course.
Yeah,
no problem.
Thank you.
Just trying to get it right for you.
We're going to take a look from the green. That's where that camera is. So
It didn't appear to get all the way up to the red line, so it didn't appear to cross from what I was seeing.
bringing Ryan Farb to USGA. What's your take on this, Ryan?
Yeah, so they're discussing with the people around to try and figure out where it last crossed. The television angle doesn't look like it bounced above the line, but we couldn't see for sure. What they need to do here is use their reasonable judgment. Anytime we're taking relief from a penalty area, we're estimating. And so as long as they use all reasonably available evidence to make a reasonable judgment to where it last crossed, then that judgment is accepted. And the referee is obviously there telling them that's what they're doing. So she's taking lateral relief there, her 2 club length option, and it reaches the fairway for her, which is nice. And she'll drop within that and play on with the 1 penalty stroke.
Got it. Thanks, Ryan. So that's what they're doing right now. While they do that, we drop back to 4.
Amelia Williamson getting ready to go.
And she's got 90 yards. It is off a little bit of a downslope. And the GP&I team have been hitting first into a lot of these greens, and so far it's been paying dividends for them in that they're able to apply the pressure. This is a pairing that is very familiar with them, obviously growing up through the English golf system, and that's a tremendous shot there.
And let's be honest, this is a matchup that maybe you would expect the United States to be heavily favored in.
Amelia Williamson, 21 years of age, from England, just inside the top 50 of the world amateur golf. Pick of the match play at the NCAA Championships a month ago at Greyhawk. Now Rose Zhang.
It's from 68 yards. And really struggled to find their rhythm this morning.
Better one.
It was, but downhill putt coming up.
So the third coming up for GB&I, Hannah Darling at 5.
Long way in here, 190 to this whole
Dark
location.
blue guy, left of white. Yep.
She does have a very good angle coming from the left side of this fairway. This green is severely sloped right to left, so you want to get it outside on the right side of this whole location and let it feed toward the hole.
Yeah, whole location only 3 paces off the left portion of the screen. And there's a reason that Louise Duncan was challenging the left side of the fairway. She's not going to be happy about that approach shot. But it is because it gives it a much better approach into this very severe slope.
Remember, that'll be their 4th.
That is compounding one mistake with another.
So the Americans off to a really good start. Jensen Castle, the 21-year-old from Columbia, South Carolina, started Kentucky up next.
And she's much closer, just 161 to this whole location. The wind has picked up a little bit out here. A little into. Should help these balls sit a little bit more on the green.
Yeah, anytime you feel like you can control your ball a little bit more, it's beneficial, even if it makes it a longer approach.
same plan.
Yeah, right at the bunker.
There's no wind right now.
One of the more difficult parts about playing in the wind
I think you can hit like a quick six.
is making the right club decision and hitting quickly.
Really nicely done. Hang on.
But that's Marion.
And that's Marion.
Yep. No intermediate cut of rough. Rough started this week 3 inches thick. Meanwhile, while that was taking place, back at 4.
Yeah, this was Rachel Heck for birdie. One the Americans could use here in the early going page.
Most definitely. And trying to get a little bit of momentum. I mentioned they should be at least heavily favored on paper. Rachel, the 4th ranked player in the world, and Roseng, the 1st.
Now live, Heath to go 3 up.
Well, and you have to think that this English duo playing with a little bit of a chip on their shoulder, knowing the pedigree that they're up against. Ooh, that was a quick stroke though.
So Heath and Williamson remaining 2 up, but a really good chance missed there to extend that lead.
Sorry, guys.
Rachel Keane on the tee at the 5th.
Yeah, and there's a hole sign way down there in the distance, or the right edge of the fairway bunker in the distance is a good line. This after a little bit of a wait, and she has pushed that well to the right. Not going to mess with that penalty area in the left at all, but that was not what she was looking for.
Emily Price will be next. She also did not play this morning. Had a chance to visit with her. She was great.
She was fabulous. Yeah. Didn't give away any secrets for the GB9 team,
yeah,
however.
I tried to get her to, yeah. 22-year-old from England, senior at Kent State last year.
Oh, that's a beauty. Down the right center with a little draw.
Well done. So advantage Great Britain and Ireland in that match off the tee at the 5th. Julia, much in this?
Not a lot. It might move left to right on her a little bit. Really important putt here. If she can get this in, USA has about 7 feet, 6 or 7 feet for their par. Put pressure on them.
Well, not a bad roll. We've seen a little bit of speed control issues. How did you find the greens out there?
I thought they were really slick. I think that some of the downhill ones, if you're not paying attention to what's behind the hole, they can really get away from you. And it's interesting because it's not like a stroke play event where you're thinking about your next putt. A lot of the times I remember I was thinking, all right, Amarty's already in for par, so I might as well give this a run. And I mean, that's probably why you're seeing things a little bit more aggressive than you would in a different tournament.
Mari Avery playing with Rachel Keane this afternoon. That changes somewhat in foursome play, though, this afternoon, because you do have to think about the comeback.
Yeah, yeah. In alternate shot, it is different. Yeah, in 4-ball, though.
Yeah, yeah. 2 putts to win the hole here for the U.S.
Yeah, you're good. Great Britain and Ireland 6, United States of America 5, United States of America go 3 up.
So 3 up, commanding lead in that match for Jensen Castle and Latana Stone. Well, you're going to want to watch this, one of the highlights.
Oh, I've been searching for this one.
Okay, take me through. You talk about that rough and how tough it is.
I called this chip in, by the way, just so everybody knows. I told Amari.
What felt good about it?
The line was perfect, and it was one of those shots you get over and you have a good feeling. So I told her, I was like, should I chip this in? And she was like, why not?
Take you back out to the 5th. And McGinty getting ready, but Amari Avery, I believe, first to go here?
Yes, McGinty is such a fast player. She thought she was away. She was seconds from going, and she would have hit out of turn. So very important to play in the order of who is away, and Amari Avery out of the right-hand rough. If you hit out of turn, your opponents can demand you replay the shot.
What was it like playing with Amari today?
It was electric. We are so well together off and on the golf course, and when we saw that pairing that Captain paired us together, we were ecstatic. This is our second time as a team because we played Junior Solheim as teammates.
Yeah.
And it was great. The chemistry was all there.
Kaylee McGinty now from the fairway.
Yeah, this was a beautiful tee shot, and the ball a little bit above her feet. 180 yards to the hole, and she's pulled that a little bit. I mean, normally you play right of the flagstick. I don't know if she meant to be that aggressive.
I'm guessing likely not. However, not a bad position to be in.
That's okay.
I think this is the hardest hole.
Right here?
Yes.
Amelia Williamson. What's the attitude of the team? You come in as favorites because you're at home and have had success as of late, as a matter of fact. But the attitude this week for the team, what do you find?
I think our captain has really stressed the importance of remembering what the Curtis Cup is about, you know, camaraderie between the two teams. And that's been our main focus. And we've also just tried to pick apart the golf course in our practice rounds. And number one, go have fun. And number two, play this in the smartest way we can. So that's been our attitude.
You weren't playing, but you had the experience last time. How big was that?
It was great. It taught me to be a team player off the golf course. And it got me really pumped up for this year because I knew what it was all about.
Yeah.
How much does your captain take your input on those pairings?
I think she observes us, how we work together in the practice rounds, and then she asks us for our input. And I think for the most part, she is pretty aware of that we know each other probably better than she does because we're always around each other. But it's a combination of both what we think, what the captain thinks, and what the vibe is that day.
Charlotte Heath, tee shot. They like it? They should. Rachel Heck, Rose Zhang. You're not cheering for the Stanford Cardinal here, right?
A little bit, I am.
Ian Walker, the head coach, and quite a program headed to, including right here #1 in the world amateur golf rankings, and Rachel Heck #4.
Rachel's wearing my hat right now. She forgot hers. She really wasn't on top of things this morning.
You had a backup, I guess.
I did.
Okay.
That's what teammates do.
Yes.
Go hard.
So safely in the fairway for the Americans as we take you up ahead, and third for the Americans.
Yeah, this 30-yard pitch shot only has, well, about 15, 18 feet of break right to left. When she judged that beautifully.
She puts all of us in the right state of mind.
Third shot, Emily Price.
Not easy chipping out of this long, thick primary rough.
But you can make it. We saw that. Maybe not here, but.
No, but that's good, Kate. This morning we saw several players in that kind of delicate, just off the green, not really able to judge it, given the difficulty of this rough.
Latana Stone setting up in the fairway here at 6.
Wind's picking up a little bit over here on the 6th hole. Latana has 156 to this hole location, just 5 paces over a ridge, somewhat of a false front, so she needs to get this ball there.
It went. Hang on. You guys had a chance to do anything but play golf this week?
We have. We went to the Philly Stadium, and oh my gosh, we did a lot of stuff. I was actually put on the Philly Media Center booth.
Right back out to play here.
Louise Duncan 17 yards closer off of Hannah Darling's big tee shot here. 139 to this whole location. Needs a good shot to get back on track.
That's good. Get a little momentum heading their way.
Part of that big win in that last match this morning, along with Charlotte Heat. Meanwhile, here at 5, the Americans. There you go. There's the putting stroke you're talking about.
And a good par, considering where that tee shot was on this difficult 5th.
You know, I know you're a rookie in the Curtis Cup and everything. You're heading to college, all that, but we've been watching you play for a while. I mean, it started a while ago, the drive, chip, and putt.
Yeah, it has.
You used to seeing these images by now?
Oh no.
Yeah,
Oh boy. Oh my goodness.
What was that like at such a young age?
I blacked out from the nerves, to be honest with you. I couldn't even tell you. Especially those first few. I don't know how I did that at 11 years old. I was more nervous there than I was today on the tee box.
Were you?
Yes, guaranteed.
But still the same miscongeniality, because I do remember meeting Mega and her family and her younger sister Serena at the dinner, and every year.
Yeah,
Stop
you were
by.
always there.
Yeah.
We had dessert together quite a few times.
But always the bubbly, personable Mega Gane.
Are you that in the locker room? Are you that with the team?
I think so. I think we all are. This team is very high energy, very personable. We all have a lot of fun.
It shows. You're playing well, playing like it too. Get some rest this afternoon. Go out and cheer your teammates on. Have some fun here, and best of luck the rest of the week.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, it's great. Mega Gane, part of a win earlier today. In fact, the first point on the board. Williamson on the tee at 5.
It was from 194. Ball way above her feet. Back into the wind.
Where did it go? It's coming right over the bunker.
The Roseanne's lie, I mean, obviously ball above her feet quite significantly, but it's also on a bit of a downslope too. She's only got 179, so a lot less in here. You do have to keep this one out to the right, let it kick down just a little bit. I can feel just this is a little window of opportunity here to try and claw one back. This one is out to the right, it is drawing, should kick left once it hits the ground.
Quick left turn.
Is that going to stop
It's
it all?
wild.
Is that going to be on the green at the end? Just.
Yes.
But the fact that there was any doubt there is amazing.
It's one of the more unusual greens that I've ever seen.
It's going to be fun to watch.
It's alright. It's just not good. Is that your ball?
Up to 6. Short time ago. Jensen Castle for birdie. It's been the story. Wow, just keeps going. And work to do coming back now for the U.S. Birdie here right in the neighborhoods. It has been for a long time. Hannah Darling, this for birdie to win the hole.
18 feet here, moving right to left on her, a little down. She just saw Jensen put this pretty far by. It's great speed.
Paige, you just have to be defensive with those type putts here.
Absolutely. Especially considering what we've seen. And I think we've seen better performance on the greens from those players that were out in the morning. Learned a little bit about the speed and controlling it. And Karen made a great point of in this format, you tend to just be a little more conservative because you've got your partner to worry about as well.
Quite a bit left. Latana Stone, the tie.
Much more than I think she was hoping for. It is uphill, moving left to right. Be a great momentum saver if she could get this to drop.
Wow.
And it is.
Huge.
Determined look on Jensen Castle's face.
Well, she knows match play, so she knows once you get that lead up, you don't want to give anything back.
They hold that 3-up lead.
Difficulty here is you've got a massive slope down to the right. So you're going to have to play that break, but you're also going to have to know that once this ball hits the green, how it's going to react and how much of that slope in terms of speed it's going to take off of it. And that came out just so fluffy and so soft. Still working.
Not done yet. Taking a right turn though.
I'm following that.
At 6, Emily Price on the way.
At a severe disadvantage coming out of that thick rough. No way could she get that up to the front of the green even.
The U.S. 1 up in this match. Up to 7.
Latana Stone getting ready to go. Less than driver off the tee.
Just a 3-wood in her hand, just looking to get something down the left center of this fairway. There's trouble right. And that'll be good.
I think we've heard one common thread from the players that we've talked to, which is what's the most important thing? Hitting fairways, giving yourself that opportunity to have control.
6, Rachel Keane.
And that's a much easier shot into this hole from the fairway.
Another prime example. That hole location is only about 2 paces over a false front ridge, so really nicely judged and aired on the correct side.
Louise Duncan at 7, also less than driver.
Also going with the wood here. This fairway slopes right to left, so anything in the center will be good, and kick a little left, but this is headed right.
Needed a soft kick. Got it.
Earlier at the 5th, Rachel Heck for birdie.
Oh.
Not nearly. And then you start to think about how defensive you have to be.
Just wishy. And that's where it's you want to play the game. You want to play the match and the foursomes format, but you also don't want to lose the feel of just being in your own rhythm of playing golf, Karen.
No, and that's right. I mean, and plus, she's got to have enough faith in her partner that no matter what, her partner's going to make the putt coming back anyway. You know, and that's what you want in a really good foursomes team is knowing that you can trust the player that you're playing with anything that you throw at them. This is just such a tough green page. My word.
High breaking putt.
3rd at 6 for Kaylee McGinty.
Trying to get this 3rd shot in close from 70 yards. And, smart job getting on top past the false front.
So back at 5, Rose Zhang has this par putt to win the hole.
And get it back to 1 if this should go in. It's been a tough hole all round, but already I'm seeing a little bit of signs more life this afternoon from Rose than what I saw this morning. This morning she really struggled to kind of get into it. But I think with Rachel, her good friend, oh, there you go. With Rachel as her good friend, I think it's a good combination. Personality-wise, they're much more similar.
Good friend, college teammate. They get 1 back, so it's a 1-up lead for Great Britain and Ireland in match number 3. As we remind you, it's time for Rules of Golf, presented by Rolex now. All right, out to the green at the 6th. Emily Price, this for par.
Yes, well, and they're outside of Team USA's birdie putt. And USA will have a very similar putt, so Amari Avery paying close attention to the speed and break on this very fast downhill. Oh, she just rammed it. Yeah, so Amari Avery just will need 2 putts to win this hole. So her whole focus right now, based on what GBNI has done is to cozy it down there and just give herself a conceded putt. Or just make it. Oh, what a good putt.
Great Britain and Ireland 5, United States of America 4. United States is 2 up.
And then I like start going,
Earlier at 7, this was the second for GB&I and a Darling.
There are a couple ridges in this green that she wants to get beyond, and very nicely judged there.
Good one by Darling.
That'll be a great leave.
Yeah, they need it. We'll keep it here live with the Americans, 3 up in this match. Castle getting ready to go.
Just 115 to this whole location. 7 paces off the back. You want to be careful not to go long here. It's on a good line.
2 really good shots into the 7th by Darling and Castle. Go back last summer, U.S. Women's Amateur at Westchester Country Club, just outside of New York City. Jensen Castle, the 63 seed overall, getting the match play in a 12-for-2 playoff. Then in that 36-hole championship match, closing out Vivian Ho to win the most prestigious amateur championship in all of women's golf. That sent her to Wales the following week for the Curtis Cup in 2021, and right back on this squad again here less than a year later. Been a pretty good 10 months for Jensen Castle.
I would say so. And that's some pretty incredible match play experience to be able to bring into Curtis Cup as well.
And she beat Rachel Heck in the semis on her way to that championship. They make their way to the green. We make our way back to the tee at 7. Rachel Keene getting ready to go. Less than driver K.
Yeah, just going with the 3-wood, which makes sense. This is a downhill, usually downwind hole, only 350 some yards. Basically a good 3-wood will leave just a short iron, even a wedge for Avery.
And some strategy for choosing which.
That going right though, you got to hit it straight. That was just a really mishit 3-wood.
Started right, stayed right. Now the search is on.
But if I'm not mistaken, she also flared one right on the 5th hole as well.
She definitely plays a natural draw, and may have been that she was aimed a little bit too much that way.
Yeah, it just got a little ahead of it. Looked a little squeezy with her body getting out in front.
Now Emily Price does have driver.
Yeah, interesting that she wouldn't go with something a little more conservative with the opponent in trouble, but she's comfortable with this club. If you hit your driver long and straight, why not use it?
Guys, we have to hit another one.
Kind of like that.
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Oh, it's fine. I'm getting
Long and straight. Check and check. Wow.
Wow is right.
Yeah.
Rachel Heck taking a look here at 6.
And Team USA are.
Okay. Okay, I'll say heads, GB&I, tails, USA, okay?
They are exactly the same yardage. They both lays at the same yardage. And if I was just eyeballing it, I would have said that Stanford was away by about 2 inches anyway.
And by Stanford, you'd mean the United States?
Yes. That's the one.
But when
my
all else
goodness.
fails, flip a coin.
I feel like I went back in time to the NCAA for a moment.
It was only 2 weeks ago,
we're not
Karen.
a Greyhawk anymore, Karen.
No, it's slightly different to Greyhawk, that is for sure. Not quite the same temperature, and a little bit more green. So, USA now, 168. This one is fading a bit to the right, though. This might be trouble.
I'd rather be in the bunker than in that rough. Still not an easy up and down.
Up to the green at 7. Stone has this for birdie to win the hole. GB&I still not in yet either.
No, Louise Duncan hit her birdie putt about 3 or 4 feet by the hole. She actually had an uphill putt, a really good look at it. Just got a little too aggressive with it. Latana now downhill, moving right to left on her.
Fooled.
It happens. Par conceded.
Charlotte Heath at 6.
Well, knowing that about Marion, Team GB&I with 168. And this one going right as well. That's a bit of a mistake.
Oh, definitely. Well, she's lucky that didn't get buried.
Florida State in the bunker, too. Wide right, yes.
That's just cruel. Looks like that was a casual putt. It was almost like that was conceded and they were going to putt it anyhow. It was conceded. We just saw that in the rules of golf. You can concede it and still
practice.
putt.
Well, because that's the thing is if you get too many concessions, you'll go so long without making a putt.
Now back down the fairway or off the fairway. Maybe a little break for the Americans, at least find that ball.
Yeah, from where that drive was, you're thinking, okay, let's just make a 4, and maybe that'll be good enough to have the hole.
Back in play in the vicinity of where GB&I hit their tee shot. Terry, Paige, gonna be a lot of fun. USGA Championship season officially underway for us.
Oh, we're in full swing.
Yes,
there,
we
Burko.
are. Tee at 8. Castle getting ready to go.
Yeah, she has a 3-wood here. This fairway one runs out at 286, so she needs to hit something that can keep her in this fairway.
You know, there is some strategy with choosing odds and evens. And the way that the golf course is kind of lined out, the 2 par 5s are both on even numbered holes, which makes me think they're going to be shooting for those longer hitters on those holes.
Take a look at the World Amateur ranking of the 4 players in this match, and Paige, you said it's never played on paper, but one of the few advantages in terms of world ranking for Great Britain and Ireland. Right. Yet 3 down. Darling, long iron.
It speaks to the length that she travels with.
Flip side of what you were saying too, though, par 3s are odds.
And I think that's, you could line it up if you've got complementary games. You
Work
could
on
certainly.
your cartwheels,
Yeah, I was going to say. You can. It actually matches up really well for an alternate shot where you can have one player hitting the majority of those approach shots in.
Roseng, 3rd for the U.S. from the bunker.
Had some practice from the bunkers earlier today. Played them quite nicely for the most part. Got plenty of green to use. Oh, this looks great.
Very well. Over at 7, this was earlier. Rachel Keane, her 3rd. You can see the tee shot of GB&I just ahead of them.
Oh, that's great.
Boy, they've got a wonderful chance to try to save par, if that's good enough.
And not easy from down below. You're quite a bit below the surface of the putting green. Okay?
Yeah, you can just see the very top of the flagstick. 75 yards. McGinty walked all the way up to the green to note what she was dealing with. That came in very low, but obviously had a good amount of spin on it. But
they'll have that for birdie. Pick up a win.
So a par to tie for Charlotte Heath.
Williamson also hit a really nice bunker shot as well, but just got a bit more roll out on hers. Good news was Charlotte Heath was paying attention to it as it rolled past the hole. I've seen Charlotte make some good putts this morning. Another one there.
Up and down both teams. So the 1 lead on the board is in that match.
Green at 7. Emily Price hit that huge tee shot, Kay. Now if she can roll this one in, pay it off, pick up a win.
Yeah, she's been looking really solid today. You know, seeing as that this is her first showing and had to do a little bit of that spectating early on. And I would think it's hard after waiting in the morning to come out as a rookie and play this format.
Absolutely, Kay. I think under any conditions, it's a difficult format to play. But having sat, I think, makes it that much more difficult, where you don't have the natural rhythm. But I know a lot of these players have had those practice sessions and practiced it a little bit to at least make it more familiar.
I think if there's a weakness so far this afternoon for her, it's been the speed on the greens, which is understandable in this alternate shot format.
No trouble with the speed there.
She heard you, Kay, and she said, I'm going to show.
Well, what an aggressive way to play this hole, too, and how rewarding to have that pay off.
Yeah, the tee shot's nice, but if you don't win the hole, what are you truly getting out of it?
Exactly. A little bit of fire.
Love to see it. Up to 8, Louise Duncan getting ready to go.
Yeah, the wind is really picking up in this fairway. 97 yards to this hole location. 10 paces over this bunker.
Had a pretty good thud under the green. We've seen the balls pretty receptive today.
And considering the rain that fell here a couple of days ago, firm and fast at Marion. Keep it right here with Latana Stone.
Just 86 yards. Her ball, unfortunately, ended up in an old divot here, but she's at the front of it, so she should be able to get something clean on this. The wind is coming straight out of the left. There is a ridge behind this hole location that should hold it up. We saw that with Louise Duncan's ball just now.
You watch Hannah there, Lauren. A chance to be part of this for the second time. How would you describe the differences of this go around here at Marion?
Yeah, definitely bringing, a lot of us have brought that experience from Conway onto Marion. Definitely a different style of golf. You know, the rough is so thick here and the firm greens, but you know, we've all enjoyed the challenge that that Marion has brought. But I think personally, like, I've brought a lot of experience of, you know, dealing with the high pressured matches and even just the stuff that goes on. There's a lot that goes on around a Curtis Cup that's kind of separate from the golf. So.
And that said, with so many of the members of the GB&I team over here playing college golf, how does that better prepare you week in and week out, what you do for 9 months for an event like this in the States?
Yeah, you know, seven of the 8 of us are playing college golf. That really stands to our team. You know, we can compete against these US girls week in, week out, and you know, anything can happen in an 18-hole match. And you know, people have said, you know, it's a similar style golf course. You know, a high ball flight that we all have. So yeah, that can only stand to us around Marion.
Good putt there by GB&I. And Julia, you're down with this match, and I know you've battled against Lauren and so many of these others through the years. What have you seen from Lauren in particular that stands out to you?
Yeah, Lauren is just such a great competitor, such a fierce competitor, but so kind, and you know that she wants you to play your best, and she just wants to play a little bit better than you, and I think that's what you ask for in a good competitor, and she's been a great addition to the GB&I team the past 2 Curtis Cups.
Castle.
Great opportunity here, moving right to left, just 12 feet.
Wow. Pretty big statement from U.S. versus this pretty all-star team.
4 up through 8. We watch Zhang at the 7th.
And Williamson and Heath are already on the green, but there is plenty of room between their ball and the hole for Rose to get between. That's a little wide, right? Trying to work back.
talking about your teammates, and you play against a number of these players, obviously, in college too, but Rachel Keane, big part of the U.S. team, a leader, also a Wake Forest Demon Deacon. Tell me about her.
Yeah, happy for her to be playing well this weekend. Obviously her 21st birthday too today, so cool to get to spend that with her as well.
Watch Rachel here at 8, getting ready to go.
Pretty special for Rachel to be able to experience that 21st birthday among so many good, tight friends and family. Just a little sandwich downhill. Oh, she eased into that. And she knew immediately she took way too much off of it. She almost decelerated into that shot.
Lauren, you talk about the relationship you have with Rachel. Is Rachel aware that you want to give her a loss at the Curtis Cup for a 21st birthday present, or might it be something else?
I think given her competitive, she would give it to me just as much as I would give it to her. So yeah, you know, we've said in the lead up to this, you know, we want to play a lot of good golf, but I just want to play a little bit better than them. So we're really wishing for good golf, and the results will come.
See what Great Britain and Ireland can do here in opening, to say the least.
Well, yeah, Steve, I thought they were going to be at a disadvantage being in the left rough, but now the green is wide open. Just get it in the middle. It's not going to come out with much backspin, but there is a little, yep, see, it just hits and releases. She couldn't even use that backstop.
Which only means that's going to be incredibly fast.
Ninth hole, par 3, 169, Latana Stone.
Yeah, downwind, downhill. Headed a little right.
Any words of wisdom from the captain this morning before we all got started?
I think Elaine's really prepared us well for this week, and we all feel like we've got in good preparation. So, you know, as she said, just trust the process and trust that our preparations have gone well.
That's hit well.
And similar result. Just keeps on going here. Walsh, 21-year-old from Dublin, Wake Forest Demon Deacon, out the heck on the way. Okay.
Yeah, they needed it. That was for birdie at 7. That match tied up.
United States of America 3. The match is tied.
Finding their own the last couple of holes, Paige, that match of Heck and Zhang.
You knew they weren't going to go away. And I think both of them have proven their ability to grind it out when they want to or when they need to.
A moment ago at 8, Avery from the greenside bunker.
Fabulous.
Okay,
Now
if it lands
live,
there.
Great Britain and Ireland, perhaps a bit of a devilish one from just over the green.
Yeah, this would be hard under any circumstance, but where this ball ended up, there's a little mound that accentuates the downslope. And she's going to just try to pop this up as softly as she can. She's got to allow for right to left break, and it'll be very fast.
Not too bad.
No, it looked like it jumped, but I think she carried most of that really severe part of the slope.
Yeah, she had to err going to the right side. Didn't want to miss it low and left.
So see what Rachel Keane can do here after a poor second. LaRue Temple, a local Marion caddy, on her bag this week, and he's no stranger to working under pressure at big events like the Curtis Cup. Go back to 2013 when the U.S. Open was in town. LaRue Temple had the week off, had tickets to come out and watch with his mom. He was wandering around the Marion parking lot waiting for a chance to go watch golf. A car pulled up. In that car, 19-year-old amateur Michael Kim from Cal, who needed a caddy, asked LaRue, "Do you want the job?" He said, "What the heck?" The two hit it off. Kim ended up making the cut, finished tied for 17th. He was the low amateur, while LaRue Temple became a local celebrity. That week turned out okay for him.
Sure did. What an experience. And, you know, being able to caddy in USGA championships and events like this, just amazing. And he and Rachel are hitting it off, and he's reading some, you know, putting some good reads on these putts. That was a good stroke.
Bogey conceded. Rachel shaking her head just a bit. So an opportunity for Great Britain and Ireland to win with a par.
Well, and Rachel obviously wanted to make that putt since it was her mistake that put the ball in the front bunker. But Paige, you can never say you're sorry, or, you know, it's a team effort and you're both going to miss some shots, but you just have to shrug it off.
Yeah, just focus on the good, and I think that's where your partner comes into this as well. They have the opportunity to pump you up. You want to find a good person that you can trust, both in how they compete, but also when you need to be pumped up, that they'll do it for you.
Big chance for GB&I to win 2 holes in a row. Oh, thought she was going to make that and tie up this match, but boy, that went healthy.
They've got more coming back.
No, and Kate, you made the point that this is actually not the first putt that Emily's been a bit off, and it seems to be that the couple of players that didn't play this morning have been the ones that we've seen with the pace off this afternoon. So certainly getting your rhythm early has been a big advantage to the players on the golf course this afternoon.
Yeah, and that putt that she made for birdie on the last hole, that was about the flattest putt and the most without any kind of speed to it.
McGinty for bogey.
Good.
All right.
Good.
But the chance to tie that
Great
match
Britain and Ireland 5, United States of America
is gone.
5.
Afternoon foursomes matches. Americans leading into that anchor match tied up is Zhang and Heck making a bit of a charge over the last couple of holes. And if you think a handicap index is only for certain players, think again. Time now for a message from the USGA.
Moment ago at the 9th, Hannah Darling to win the hole.
Good speed.
Remember, the Americans in a similar spot. Now a live look at Latana Stone is for par.
Just 4 feet here. Jensen lagged this up pretty nicely. Not much to this putt. She can potentially keep it inside the hole and just be aggressive, knowing that GB&I is in for par.
Just to tie the hole. Okay, stood over it quite some time.
She did. I was composed enough to get the job done, and those little putts keep the momentum rolling.
Big time lead, still 4 up. Back to 8.
Heck, her second.
Well, GB&I have already had to pitch out from some trouble down the right, so they're still in the fairway playing their third. This is an aggressive looking swing. Got a spin.
Oh yeah.
Here it comes. Yeah, another yard or two forward, and good luck with the second. But that's what Marion presents. If you want to get aggressive and pull it off, you can be rewarded. Now Williamson.
Has to really put in a really good shot in here and then hope for a little bit of a gift from Rozang.
Got a chance.
Big shift in this match.
Par 3 9th, Emily Price. Ready?
I'm trying to land this a little short of the flagstick. Playing a little bit downwind, downhill right now.
Good lead.
Yeah, you carry it farther than that. We've seen releases. Keane.
Rachel is, I've watched her play a lot of golf, and she plays with a lot of energy and joy, but she is so competitive and is going to give 110% until the very end. This has a really good line if it's the right distance.
Great shot. And we've seen Keane have a couple loose shots, so getting up there and stepping up and hitting a good one is important. And just on the previous hole, I mentioned you got to have a teammate that's willing to pump you up, and Amari Avery perhaps being that for Rachel Keane right now.
It's not a driver, Julia.
No, it's a 3-wood, and the wind has picked up as soon as she got on this tee. It's blowing pretty hard. She's just looking to keep this out right of the green, right center of the fairway.
254 means it's only 242 to the front edge of this green.
Hannah Darling thinking about it?
Well, the USGA is testing the players right now.
Yeah.
They're baiting them a little bit. They say, even though it's foursomes, I mean, obviously, if this is 4-ball, it's not a question. Everybody's going for it. But, Julie, is it right to left, or excuse me, a left to right wind right now?
It's a little left to right and into. I think Hannah is a very long hitter of the golf ball, so she might be thinking this 3-wood could even get up close to this green and just give her a short pitch in. I think Jensen and Latana are maybe taking the safer play and thinking they can still birdie this with a wedge in their hand.
Well, given the position in the match, that would make sense for the United States to play a little more conservatively.
Hannah asked the patrons to move a little left, so it looks like she's going at this green.
Definitely.
Oh, wow.
Almost.
Wow. Still a good shot. That was fabulous, but it was very close to being really, really good.
Asking if it's okay over there, and it is.
Over at 8, Rozang. The Americans, couple of putts to go one up.
And this kind of is a bit strange to me that they're making them do this, because this is the one from 4 feet away. She's not going to take more 4 putts, 2 putts, sorry.
Heck and Zhang now leading that one. They have certainly changed the narrative over the last 45 minutes or so in that anchor match. Rozang, she's the top-ranked amateur in the world for a very good reason. Go back a couple of summers ago, Woodmont Country Club U.S. Women's Amateur Championship. This was her third at the last, the 36th hole, thinking Gabby Ruffles is going to win 2 in a row until Rozang hit that shot. Ultimately took care of it a couple of holes later to win the 2020 U.S. Women's Amateur Championship. And she went reverse order. Instead of winning the girls junior, then the women's amateur, she went women's amateur and girls junior. Not too far down the road. She maybe should think about that Washington, D.C. area as a second home, picking up that championship. 12 months ago at Columbia Country Club over Bailey Davis from Tennessee. And why not keep going? Just a couple of weeks ago, wrapping up an amazing freshman season at Stanford. She won her first 3 events in the fall, picked up her 4th victory in claiming the NCAA individual championship honors. Her teammate Rachel Heck did it a year earlier as a freshman. She also won the Annika Award, Player of the Year. Rozang, certainly very accomplished and still a teenager.
Last 2 champs, yeah, together today. It's pretty amazing. Latana Stone.
You're right.
Oh,
beautiful.
That is gorgeous.
And I believe that Jensen Castle and Latana Stone's strategy paying off.
She went ahead. She was standing up in the fairway as Jensen Castle teed off and waited. GB and I right near the green there as we take you down through the trees to the 9th green.
It was for birdie to win the hole. Team USA, their birdie putt came up short, has not been conceded for par. And I doubt this one will be either. That's the problem. It reaches the crest and really speeds up. She had to hit it firmly to get uphill initially.
Second for GB and I at 10. Louise Duncan, they going to mark this ball?
Yeah, Jensen's walking up there now.
Okay.
I think Louise would have to work right through Jensen's ball, so definitely needs to mark it.
Man, that was such a good drive to get to this point. It's so close to being a puttable eagle opportunity. But Julia, what does she have here?
Not too difficult. Ball's not buried too much. It's just about judging how it'll come out of this lie. There's a ridge that feeds down to the hole, short and left of this whole location. So she really just needs to get it to the top of that ridge and then let it feed to the hole.
There's the ridge.
And there's the ridge. Keeps taking it. Price with putt at the 9th. And Keane with a putt to tie now.
And this putt is just a little bit outside concession range. I don't think there's anything much to it. It's uphill, so she can just think back of the cup.
Keep the 1-up lead.
Great Britain and Ireland 3, United States of America 3. United States remains 1 up.
So the U.S. has led from the start in that match. They head to the 10th, and we remind you, being a USGA member means many things: integrity, sustainability, achievement. But all USGA members share a love of the game and a commitment to making golf better for future generations. Visit usga.org/join to become a member today. Hannah Darling lining this one up for birdie at 10.
And not a difficult putt, just 6 feet back up the hill. That ridge that Louise just chipped it down might pull this ball a little to the right. Under different circumstances, she's making this 9 out of 10 times, but you know that your competitors are in close for birdie. Puts a little bit of extra pressure on this putt.
Meanwhile, at the 9th, Rachel Heck.
And the momentum firmly with the American team here. This is another good-looking shot by Rachel.
Wow! Woo! Best we've seen. Castle to win the hole at 10. Just took off.
Whoa.
Yeah, whoa. A ton of stone. Didn't expect to have the putter. Back at the 9th, GB&I.
This is a tough spot to be in, and you have to feel like you've got to produce a good shot. This is a good-looking shot if it's the right distance. Oh, I could do with a bit more. But I'd like to see the team captain, Elaine Ratcliffe, come up to this team right now, just to kind of talk them through it, make sure everything's okay, you know.
So Stone with this left for par to tie.
Yeah, I don't think she was expecting to have to get her putter out again.
No.
Jensen likes to hit putts firm. She said it earlier. She said, I'll have some 9-footers coming back, and she definitely hit that one firm. Not much here, though, for Latana. Should be fairly straight back up the hill.
I think it's just more the gulp of, oh, I wasn't expecting that.
Pick up your teammate, your partner.
And have confidence they'll be there for you.
So 4-up lead remains for the United States as we remind you, uninterrupted coverage of the USGA Championships is presented by Rolex. The clubhouse right there by that opening tee, the patio. People out there having breakfast this morning, some coffee as matches got underway at 7:30 a.m. First of 3 days of play here at Marion. Second time that this Curtis Cup has been held here. 1954, the other time the U.S. won 6-3. So they were up 2-1 going into the afternoon. Foursomes here, they're up in all 3 of the matches.
And truly, I'm keeping an eye on that last match, just the massive momentum shift that has happened in favor of the United States. And considering where Rachel just hit her tee shot on the 9th, they could go from 2 down to now 2 up.
Yeah. Yep. Match number 2, Avery
Started at the camera tower.
keyed 1 up.
We end up all the right spot.
It'd be interesting to see what club she ends up taking, and it was smart to put her on the even holes. They could take advantage of Avery's length, and looks like McGinty's going to go with the driver. Why not? 242 to the front, Paige, as you said, and even if you push it out to the right a little bit, not so bad. And even if you end up in the bunker, it won't be a bad position to end up. Oh, she's pulled this big time. Oh, gonna have to be lucky in there.
No.
Up to 11.
On the tee, Latana Stone, less than driver.
Going with a 3-wood here. It's a little downwind. And it's on a good line.
Yeah, this hole just about position off the tee, making sure you're in the fairway. 230 max, maybe 250 off the tee is all players are looking for.
Opening now for the Americans on the tee at 10. Amari Avery does not have the driver.
No, but with a pounded 3-wood, she can get there. She hit her driver just about hole high right earlier today. So if she tags this one, it should be just good enough. Oh, yeah. How about that for Carrie?
Fabulous. Just shy of the edge of the green, but as we've noted, those fairway surfaces, they look like the green surfaces.
Pretty much green. Yeah. Many places they would be the same. They walk down. We take it back to the 9th. Williamson's putt rolled to here. Heath next for par. Americans have a birdie putt here.
And Terry, one of the golden rules about match play is you've got to make your opponent make it. Don't give them an easy one. So this one's no. So that's it. That's done. That was an easy loss. And the Americans really with the momentum, and GB&I kind of have to feel like it's spiraling out of control just a little bit right now.
Totally turned it around, haven't they?
Completely.
Yes, that is a choreographed celebration.
Well, part of it may be a misstep by GB&I, but what United States has done with the birdies the last couple of holes to put themselves in position on the 9th, it was pretty solid stuff.
One in the bunker, GB&I, and one just in front of the green for the United States here. The other players who were not hitting the tee shots and already walked up.
Yeah, and Emily Price is going to be just fine. My concern was avoiding the grasses that are planted in this bunker, and she has. So she's at the bottom of the bunker.
Other players finally making their way up to the green.
Yeah, and Rachel, she had her putter out. I think she's ready to hit this putt like 5 minutes ago. Good clean lie from the bottom of the bunker. 15-yard bunker shot. She ought to be able to get this within 5 feet pretty easily.
She's got to settle. Going off that ridge.
Emily Price, got to know her earlier today. It was great. She was really good to talk to her in the booth. The 22-year-old from England, Kent State, number 76 in the world amateur ranking, and an English Women's Amateur Championship back in 2020.
One of the most prestigious amateur events in the world, certainly.
PLX 안마베드 안마의자의 강력한 힘을 누워서 더 강력하게. 지금까지의 안마를 혁신합니다. 안마베드에 주무름과 두드림을 더해 더 완벽하게. 마침내 혁신적 안마베드의 완성. 거의 비렉스. 이 놀라운 차이 직접 체험해보세요.
A huge honor.
All right, the Americans, they're second here, just off the green.
Yeah, a huge opportunity here from 35 feet to roll this in for an eagle too. Uphill. It's got some right to left break. Wood's got a good line.
Yeah, very nice.
That's what you want. Nice, easy tap in birdie.
Well, it's just very strategic on how they played that golf hole, and this, because of the way that these holes are lined up, so important to pick that odds and evens lineup,
Yeah.
and they've been able to take advantage of the strength of Amari Avery off of the tee.
So that's conceded for a birdie, and now Kaylee McGinty with a birdie putt to tie the hole.
I was talking to Lisa Strom, who has known Kaylee McGinty for several years when she was first the coach at Kent State before she moved to Ohio State. And she actually ended up coaching both Emily Price and Kaylee McGinty when she was at Kent State. So for her, she feels like this is extra special. But what she told me about Kaylee McGinty is that as good a player she is, she's a nicer person off the golf course. And that the biggest difference in the last few years has been her elevation of confidence and self-belief, and that she belongs in this upper echelon of players.
Her way to Oklahoma State, and her transfer portal will be at Ohio State in the fall. So, miss on the birdie.
4, United States of America 3, United States is 2 up.
And you just heard it. 2 up through 10 in that match. To 11.
Latana Stone getting ready to go or make that castle after Stone's tee shot.
Jensen leaving this out a little to the right. Hannah Darling hit a great shot in there, about 12 feet for their look at birdie.
And GB&I at this point, Paige, needs a birdie, needs to start building something as opposed to we're still 4 down, we're still 4 down.
And you also wonder, because of all the crowds out there and the people cheering, you can feel the momentum. And GB&I, the more silence they hear, the better, and they really need to kind of shift that tone on the golf course right now.
Shifted toward the U.S. in this final match. Match number 3. They're 2 up. Look at the holes, 1 U.S., 11-3 in the foursome so far. And on the tee here, Karen, that decision being made.
It is, and it's a crucial one right now. I mean, Team USA, they're in the driver's seat. They have the honor here, and they're the ones who really can kind of set the tone for this hole.
Distance measuring devices are allowed this week. As you can see, the caddies taking advantage of that.
Don't you think, Paige, that with this shot, a shot just a little bit right of the flag? I mean, play to that. You may not necessarily be on the green, but play to that very finely mown area just right of the green.
Well, it's perfectly described, and that's exactly what we saw in the previous group with Amari Avery, who absolutely put it in nearly ideal position. And Team USA ultimately walked away with a win on this hole.
There's no reason to take on that left bunker. A little bit of breeze picking up into off the right now.
You saw Rose take those 2 club lengths back. Knows she's got a lot of club with driver in hand. But
didn't want that.
Did not want to leave it short in the rough. Not difficult, except the fact that it's Marion rough.
Exactly. Heath and Williamson were 2 up after the 4th hole. They are now 2 down.
Well, and in this situation, you feel like you want to push a little bit. You feel like you want to try and get those shots back. You feel like, you know, Rose is giving you a little bit of an opportunity here, but I still feel like as you've got to fight that urge to be so aggressive here. You still have to play to the spot just right. And this is going right. And I'm going to duck a little bit here. Oh, that's way right.
Up to the 11th.
Latana Stone's got this for birdie for the American team.
Just 20 feet here. There's a small ridge in the middle of this green that might pull her ball to the left a little bit. Uphill a little bit the whole way. She can be aggressive with this one.
I don't think you need to tell her that. She has shown she can be aggressive on the putter. And
Julia, you must feel right at home. Playing your college golf at Ole Miss, Latana Stone at LSU, Jensen Castle at Kentucky, Hannah Darling at South Carolina. What have you seen, at least during your time, overlapping with these young ladies that have put them at the very highest level here this week?
Yeah, Latana and Jensen are two of my best golf friends, and I feel fortunate to get to watch all these players today. Latana was actually my alternate shot partner at the Palmer Cup, so I've gotten to see firsthand how good of a partner she is, and I've gotten to play with Hannah my last year at Ole Miss, and she's just a great competitor, hits the ball a mile, and really shows how a testament to how solid the SEC is to have all these players here representing.
Yeah, Hannah Darling, a freshman, a first-team All-America selection right out of the gates, Julia. She finished runner-up at the Annika Intercollegiate, but I can't remember who won that event. Can you help me out?
Yeah, by one stroke. She missed the eagle putt on the last to tie me, so fortunately.
That was it. Julia won that event. That's what I forgot. Duncan for birdie to win the hole. Left from the start and not in.
just fast. I mean, it's a theme of the day.
We saw it this morning, especially when they made the turn, when things maybe got a little tighter, if you will, of, oh goodness, 2, 3, 4, 5 feet past the hole.
It's easy to do, and I think, you know, the more experience you have with quick greens, the more comfortable you are with, I don't want to say being tentative, but learning how to putt a little defensively to protect against the 3-putt, protect against the mistake. And as we know in match play, the last thing you want to do is give anything up.
Official coming out to decide which team is up next. Looks like it might be Great Britain and Ireland, but very close.
This is a key part of match play, is really acknowledging and determining who is away and who has the honor. Oh, we went good.
Thank you. Okay. I just missed it. We didn't even hear it.
4
Okay,
up
home
for the Americans.
4. United States of America remain 4 up.
Well, they would have taken it happily. If I were GB&I, I don't think I'd be giving anything.
You've got to find a way to win a hole.
Here at the 10, Charlotte Heath from the bunker.
62 yards, pretty steep face in front of her. Oh, this is rather pleasant. This is. That was.
Oh my gosh, what a horrible break.
It was going to be coming out with some nice spin too, Karen.
That is about as bad a break as you're going to get.
And there is a ridge behind that may have offered some help as well.
Wow.
Oh my goodness. What a bad break.
Those sticks are good.
McGinty at 11.
Yeah, Team GBI at a severe disadvantage coming in out of the rough. A little bit of a downhill lie. McGinty swinging very hard at that, but clip face turning over. That ends up short left.
Rachel Heck second on the way at 10.
And you could hear just how thick that grass was that she was playing from, and that's a good looking shot, and Roseanne has found a little form with that putter, so.
Threatening to go 3 up in the match. 12.
Castle getting ready to go. She's got driver.
Yeah, the wind is coming into us right now pretty steadily. She's looking to keep this ball at that right fairway bunker. If she cuts too much off and goes a little too far right, she can get stuck in that rough with a bad angle in. On a great line.
Well, she loved that. Yeah, that right portion of the fairway offers a little bit better position. into this green.
Darling up next with driver. Julie, I'm still trying to get over the fact that they said good there. And when Great Britain and Ireland does that, you can't make up any ground.
Yeah, I was very surprised to see them pick their balls up. If I'm GBI, I'm hoping for anything, especially after seeing Jensen miss that short putt on 10. I was shocked, and this is it well right.
It could be reload time for Great Britain and Ireland.
2 seconds down.
They're not worried, at least for the moment. We go back down to 11 with Avery.
30 yards ahead, and most importantly, in the fairway. Going out a gap wedge fully.
Oh, wow.
What an advantage there, and taking advantage of that.
So GB&I in with a par, Rose Zhang with a putt for birdie to win the hole at 10.
Well, and this is why it was strange that they did not give Rose the putt on the previous hole, because now she's made another good putt. You know, her confidence has been boosted.
That's a great point, Karen. It's hard to get this momentum on putting and foursomes.
Exactly, and which is why I was really surprised. I'm like, no, don't make her putt it. She's not going to take more than 2 putts, but here we are. And you know, I think sometimes players get caught up in the moment, but you need to have a cool, level head on your shoulders when you're playing in these matches. I would not be surprised to see Rose pull this one in. Oh.
They've been on quite a birdie stretch.
That's a gift. That's a, you know, the GB&I team were unlucky hitting the flag, but they got lucky with that miss.
Go up to 12 with Duncan getting ready to go. And
how far had Hannah advanced it, Julia?
It looks like it came down quickly.
Yeah, it caught a tree on this right side really fast. I think she was trying to cut too much off on this hole.
Yeah, we saw them waiting, looking to their left. The roar. And for good reason. How about this shot out of the bunker? You can argue they were robbed because of the flag stick at 10. Great Britain and Ireland, maybe now you can say it's all square or tied. Duncan just hacking it out.
Just a big mistake off of the tee and foursome play. Getting maybe a little greedy, maybe a miss hit, but you just can't afford to be now sitting 3 or sitting 2 where your opponent has their drive.
So Great Britain and Ireland, something to grasp onto to maybe change the momentum, but Rachel Keane, if she can make this, can say, no, not right now.
Well, and that's what you have to do as a player. You have to immediately squelch that fire that's just been lit. You know, I think Emily Price should go over and kiss that flag stick, because that bunker shot would have been 10 feet past if it didn't hit and go dead in. Little luck is all you need in this game. Sometimes one shot to change things. This to tie the hole. Nope, not comfortable about something that she's seen. Sometimes when you line up the ball behind and then you get over it, you realize I didn't give it enough, or I don't like the way this is lined up.
Thought about it.
Well, that was an unexpected turn of events, wasn't it?
Great Britain and Ireland will take it, Price, with the unlikeliest of 3s out of that green side bunker. They're now just 1 down against Rachel Keane and Amari Avery. Castle and Stone continuing to roll. Zhang and Heck on a bit of a roll themselves. And many people, they've got a dream of a career in golf, and one program helps make that dream a reality. Time now for a message from the USGA. The USGA.
I started as an intern 20 years ago, and now I'm leading one of the oldest and most prestigious organizations in the country.
It's a pie in the sky thing to think that you could marry your career with your passion, and being a USGA intern helped me see that there are a lot of people who have done just that.
You know, a month in, I think I felt I would have never imagined working in golf if it wasn't for this internship, and now I couldn't imagine working anywhere except golf.
The value of having the opportunity to travel, to meet so many different people, and to network is really a privilege that can't be replicated. It's something I look back on very fondly.
I know some interns go on to work for the USGA, but to work for other organizations like Golf Week as well, you know, it's just a tremendous thing to have on your resume, and for us to look at and know that you've had a really good experience in knowing not just golf tournaments, but all the other aspects that go into the industry.